We continue with another name, please, Thierry. After Real Madrid, Manchester City, Internazionale Milano, we ready to find out who's taking on
FC Barcelona.
FC Barcelona, who won their 29th title in Spain last year for the 23rd successive time in the UEFA Champions League group stage. What do we have in stock for Barcelona? Please, David, go. After Manchester City, of course.
All right, for Barca, besides City, it's PSG in pot 1. And then they've got Aston Villa at home and Sporting away in pot 2. In pot 3, it's a home tie with Feyenoord, the 1970 winners, of course, and Galatasaray in Istanbul. Finally, a home match with the debutants Como, so against Cesc Fabregas' side. I think he'll be reviewing quite a few friends there. And an away match at Sabah in Azerbaijan.
Another debutant, so two debutants
Indeed.
for FC Barcelona. So after Barcelona, we are ready and eager to see who else is coming up and, of course, what is their strike of matches. Of 7 UEFA competitions, 3 times the UEFA Cup, 3 times the Super Cup, and also once the Cup Winners' Cup. We are ready to discover which 8 opponents Atletico will have to face. David, please. It will be very interesting to see who comes up against
David,
Atletico.
what have you done? Joke. Let's take a look. This is who Atleti are playing then. From pot 1, a home tie against Bayern Munich, a trip to Liverpool. From pot 2, Manchester United, who returned to the competition, of course, and also PSV Eindhoven away. From pot 3, Fenerbahce, and the surprise package from last season, Bodo Glimt. And from pot 4, the newcomers Viking from Norway and Stuttgart away. David, you've already told us how hungry this side are to finally get their hands on that beautiful trophy. Talk me through this lineup.
Yeah, difficult. But in this competition, it's always difficult. Every team wants to win and win every game. But we are ready. We are ready and we believe in us. Yeah.
That's how you have to be. It's great.
If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, right?
Of course.
There you go. Giorgio.
Great games. Let's go ahead, Thierry, please. We draw another name. Ready for left in this spot 1.
Paris Saint-Germain.
And here we go with the title holders of Paris Saint-Germain. 45 goals last season in the UEFA Champions League. So a great performance, of course, for the 2 times winners of the last 2 editions. And we're ready. We will reveal the opponents of Paris Saint-Germain after Barcelona and Man City.
So the puzzle is complete. AS Roma at home, Aston Villa away in pot 2. In pot 3, it's a home match with Galatasaray and a trip to Spain to take on Villarreal. In pot 4, it's Slovan Bratislava at home and Como away. That is the path for PSG.
Good. Approaching the end of pot 1. Thierry, please shuffle and draw the next name. 3 clubs are left to be drawn.
Liverpool.
And here we go, it's Liverpool FC, the English club with the most titles in this competition, 6 titles for Liverpool. We are ready, they know already 2 of their opponents, Atletico and Inter, and we go with your touch. Thank you.
Yeah, for Liverpool, 2 huge opponents, of course, from pot 1, as expected. From pot 2 as well, it continues. A home tie against FC Porto and a trip away to Belgium to take on Bruges. From pot 3, they're at home to Villarreal and away to Fenerbahce. And from pot 4, they host Lens and they travel to Austria to take on the newcomers famous 1999 final, so that should be absolutely
yes.
electric. From pot 3, they're at home against Bodo Glimt, and they pot 4, it's a home tie against Slavia Praha and a trip to Norway to take on Viking.
Wow.
I know. So that is pot 1 done. The first teams have been drawn, and there are already some incredible matches to look forward to, as we expected. The current holders, PSG, taking on Barcelona. So these two guys will be watching that one. That's also the most successful team in Champions League history, Real Madrid, facing the 3-time winners Inter and the 6-time champions Bayern Munich, facing last year's finalists Arsenal, which is always an interesting tie. So just a reminder to everybody watching that this grid shows you all the fixtures, but not necessarily the order of the fixtures. The full calendar will be released on Saturday.
Absolutely right. So let's move on to pot 2. More excitement ahead. 9 more teams are about to discover their footballing fate. Some outstanding teams in pot 2, as you would expect, including the former winners of the UEFA Champions League. We've got 5 of them there. One of them is, of course, Aston Villa, who are the reigning Europa League champions. They're all desperate to know who they will be playing, so let's get on with it. Giorgio, over to you.
Yes, and I hand over easily to Thierry again to shuffle the balls, also in this pot number 2. Because everybody is, of course, impatient to discover more of these incredible matches.
Club Brugge.
So the first team drawn in this second pot is Bruges. And Bruges, of course, were finalists in 1978 and the Belgian champions for the 20th time last season. So we are ready. We can locate 6 opponents after Liverpool and Inter to Club Bruges. Please.
Yeah, as you say, 2 opponents already known. The remaining opponents are Aston Villa, the Europa League champions. They take on Club Bruges away, and Bruges also host travel to PSV Eindhoven. From pot 3, excuse me, they are at home to Bodo Glimt, and they travel to Napoli. And from pot 4, it's Bruges against Lyon.
And that's FC Porto, the champions of Portugal. So Portugal has been champions for the 31st time last season, and Portugal, of course. We are ready. Let's show the remaining opponents after Man City and Liverpool.
Yes, 2 opponents already known, so these are the rest of them. From pot 2, it is PSV Eindhoven at home and Real Betis away, so a trip to Andalusia in that one. From pot 3, Porto will face Napoli and travel to the Netherlands to take on Feyenoord. And from pot 4, it's a home tie against Slavia Praha and an away fixture against Lask.
Good. So after Porto, who comes next? You will tell us, Thierry.
Aston Villa.
And that's the time of Aston Villa. So Aston Villa, the winners of the Europa League last year, first trophy since 1995-96 for the club, when they won the English League Cup. Who will have to face Aston Villa? 4 teams are already known. David, you're now showing the remaining teams, the remaining opponents.
Yep, so this is the quartet remaining. It's Fenerbahce at home and Galatasaray away, so 2 Turkish sides in pot 3. And then in pot 4, a home match with the debutants Viking of Norway, and they'll be traveling to Prague to take on Slavia there.
Perfect. So we've allocated 8 opponents also to Aston Villa, to the Villains, and we're ready. There are another 5 teams left in pot number 2.
Real Betis Ballonpied.
And this time it is Real Betis from Sevilla. So 2 times they're in the league phase or group stage of this competition, and the finalists of the UEFA Conference League in 2025. Let's go ahead with the draw for Real Betis.
Okay, the final 4 for Real Betis then. From pot 3, they're at home against Feyenoord and away to Lille. And from pot 4, they're at home against Como as well. And they travel to Slovan Bratislava.
Okay, that's it for Real Betis. We can go ahead. We have another 4 names which are waiting to discover their opponents in this competition.
AS Roma.
That's AS Roma, coached by Coach Gasperini. AS Roma, the last participation in this group stage or league phase was in 2018-19. For Roma, they know already they will play Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain, and who else?
Now we also know they'll be hosting Sporting, and they'll be traveling to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United in pot 2. In pot 3, it's a home tie with Lille and a trip to Istanbul to take on Fenerbahce, of course qualified last night. It's Slovan at home and AEK away in pot 4, Giorgio.
Perfect, so also Roma now is known. We have only 3 teams left in this pot number 2.
Manchester United.
And we start with the Red Devils, Manchester United, 3 times winners. And in match day 1, they will cross the line of the 300 matches played in this competition. It's the first English club doing it. So what will happen to Manchester United in this league phase after Bayern Munich, Atletico and Roma?
3-time champions, 3 opponents already known, and their 300th game to come. And these are the teams that they will face in the league phase. So they are away to Sporting Club de Portugal from pot 3. They're at home against Leipzig and they travel to Villarreal. From pot 4, it's a tie against a newcomer Saba and another debutante in Como.
Yes, that's it. Of course, 2 debutants also for Manchester United. Only 2 left. Let's go with the first one of the 2.
Sporting Clube de Portugal.
Sporting Clube de Portugal, 120th anniversary this year for the club. So what we know for Sporting, that they will face Barcelona, Man City, Man United and Roma, and the other 4 clubs coming out now.
Yeah, so the path is now complete for the Lions of Lisbon. They've got Galatasaray at home from pot 3, and then away tie against Shakhtar Donetsk. Then in pot 4, it's a hosting match against Lask, the newcomers, and they'll be traveling to France to take on Lens.
Exactly. Only 1 left. Thierry, thank you very much. We know who they are. We need to know who they will face.
PSV Eindhoven.
That's of course PSV Eindhoven, the champions of Netherlands and the Dutch champions, of course, for the 3rd successive season this year. So after Atletico, Real Madrid, Bruges and Porto, who else?
Okay, their path in the league phase is now complete then. PSV Eindhoven, as we know, the 4 opponents. The remaining are from Pot 3, Shakhtar Donetsk at home and a trip to Germany to take on RB Leipzig. And they'll also face Stuttgart in the Netherlands, and they travel to take on Viking, the newcomers.
Indeed, so we've got 2 pots done, 2 pots to go. We now know that 18 teams have their opponents out of the 36, of course. How about highlighting some of those matches? We've got FC Porto, the 2-time winners, taking on the 88 champions PSV Eindhoven, Borussia Dortmund against Real Betis, and Club Brugge versus Aston Villa.
Exactly. Very exciting, but still, as you say, 18 teams left to find out their fate. Let's now move on to Pot 3 then, which includes teams from France, Italy and Ukraine. Okay, then more European giants amongst the teams in Pot 3, including one of last season's real surprise stories of the Champions League. We all really enjoyed, didn't we, watching Bodo Glimt. There's also Galatasaray of Turkey, as well as the 1970 European champions Feyenoord.
Yeah, well, you may have noticed we've had a little bit of a tactical shift on stage. We've got David over there on the end now selecting the teams from the pot, and we've got Thierry pressing the Champions League ball and the button to reveal the opponents.
Of course, we know that at half-time you swap the field. So we swapped our 2 legends. Let's see if David is as good as Thierry in drawing our teams. One after the other, please shuffle first. First team of pot number 3.
FC Shakhtar Donetsk.
And this is the Ukrainian champion of Shakhtar Donetsk. So the winners of the UEFA Cup in 2009, the most participations of over any other Ukrainian team in this group stage or league phase of this competition. So who are the opponents of Shakhtar? We know Real Madrid, we know Inter, Sporting Clube de Portugal, PSV Eindhoven, and Thierry, please, let's go.
So the final opponents for Shakhtar then, a home tie against Fenerbahce and they're away against RB Leipzig from Pot 3. From Pot 4, it's AEK Athens in a trip to take on Slovan Bratislava.
And that's it for the Ukrainian champions. Let's go ahead with another team. Let's see who comes next.
Villarreal Club de Fútbol.
So we are back to Spain with the Yellow Submarine of Villarreal, Europa League champions in 2021, and for the successive Europa League phase for the first time. For this club, we're ready. Villarreal know 4 of their opponents: Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Borussia Dortmund. Please.
Let's find those final pieces of the puzzle for the Spanish outfit. It's Napoli at home and Fenerbahce away from Pot 3. And in Pot 4, a home tie with Saba of Azerbaijan and a trip to Czechia to take on Slavia Praha.
Exactly. So we know also the full lineup for Villarreal. We can obviously now proceed and see which other team is now drawn in Pot 3.
FK Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt, the outsiders, and great performance of last season, reaching the round of 16 in the competition, and the cup winners in Norway for the first time since 1993. Who do we allocate to Bodo Glimt after Atletico, Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, and Bruges?
Well, we have the answer. From pot 3, they'll host Lille. They travel to Italy as well. And from pot 4, it's Bodo Glimt against Lask. And they also take on Lens away.
Lens away, of course. That's it for Bodo Glimt. Let's go ahead. Another one.
RB Leipzig.
This is Leipzig. This time Leipzig, say, semi-finalists in 2020. It was the special, let's say, COVID edition, played as a tournament in Portugal, and now back in the competition again, trying to reach as far as possible again. Ready? We allocate 3 opponents, as 5 are already known.
That's correct, Giorgio. The trio is Feyenoord, Lens, and Como. Those are the final 3 opponents for Leipzig of Germany.
Exactly. So we know the 8 opponents also for Leipzig, and we're ready to proceed further in this pot 3.
Fenerbahce.
Moving now to Turkey with Fenerbahce FK. We'll celebrate the 120th anniversary in 2027. And back to the group phase, league phase now, after a long period of time, I would say. It was the season 2008 and 2009. We are ready to allocate 2 opponents, as 6 have already been drawn, with Liverpool, Atletico, Roma, Aston Villa, Villarreal, and Shakhtar. And we need to allocate 2 opponents from pot number 4.
Yeah, Giorgio, they made it through last night, didn't they? And 2 more opponents for them, as you mentioned. They will be at home against Slavia Praha, and they also travel to take on Lask, the debutants.
Exactly. Who comes after Fenerbahce? David, please draw the next ball.
Feyenoord.
And we are back to the Netherlands with the winners of the 1970 edition of this competition, the Feyenoord, which is also the first Dutch club having won this fantastic trophy. Feyenoord know already that they will play Inter, Barcelona, Porto, Real Betis, and Leipzig. Thierry, we are now revealing the remaining 3 clubs.
That's correct, and that hat-trick is Galatasaray from pot 3, and then Como and Viking, 2 newcomers from pot 4.
To complete the Feyenoord lineup. That's it. We have another 3 from 3 different countries.
Galatasaray.
That's Galatasaray, the champions of Turkey, with their record at 26 time. Who do we allocate to Galatasaray? They know already they will play Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Aston Villa, Sporting, and Feyenoord.
Yeah, so completing the picture then for Galatasaray, they are travelling to France to take on Lille from pot 4. They're up against Stuttgart at home, and they travel to Greece to take on AEK Athens.
Perfect. This is also the lineup for Galatasaray. We have 2 more left. Both needs to know 2 opponents.
Napoli.
And the first one is Napoli, turning 100 years from their foundation this year. They have just celebrated. Congratulations to Napoli. Of course, we are ready. Who comes after Arsenal, Manchester City, Bruges, Porto, Bodo Glimt, and Villarreal for the Blues of Napoli?
And that remaining duo is Viking of Norway and Saba of Azerbaijan.
So both Norwegian opponents for Napoli, after Bodo Glimt, of course. So only one is left. Let's go and see their name.
Lille.
Lille, LOSC Lille, coached by the new generation of the Ancelotti dynasty. So Lille know also 6 of their opponents: Bayern, Arsenal, Real Betis, Roma, Galatasaray, and Bodo Glimt. Only 2 from pot 4 to be revealed.
Yeah, and Lille's final 2 opponents then are Slovan Bratislava and Stuttgart away. Okay, well, I would say that the calibre of fixtures in this season's tournament is higher than ever. It always is, and it's always fascinating, isn't it? We're really looking forward to this league phase. Some matches to point out for you. Villarreal at home to Napoli should be a fiery one. Bodo Glimt taking on Lille. Shakhtar against Fenerbahce as well, with a star-studded lineup too.
We're not done yet, though. We've got one final pot to go. This one includes 4 Champions League debutants, as well as teams from France, Germany, and Greece. Those are the teams in this spot. We've talked about it throughout the show, but we do have debutants. We'll give them their due. It's Como of Italy, LASK of Austria, Viking of Norway, and Saba of Azerbaijan. A historic moment for them all, no doubt about that. Let's not keep them waiting any longer. Let's reveal the final fixtures for this season's league phase. Giorgio, one last time, over to you.
Yes, Pedro, thank you very much. Indeed, 4 great stories of European football. Let's see who their opponents will be. And David, may I ask you to shuffle for the last time a pot, which is spot number 4. And we start delivering the final of fixtures of these 144 great matches.
Lens.
We start with RC Lens, winning the first Coupe de France title last season. So Lens have been allocated already Man City, Liverpool, Sporting, Bruges, Bodo Glimt, and Leipzig. Thierry, please, let's reveal the last 2.
Yeah, the final 2 teams then for Lens is a home tie against Como and a trip to Czechia to take on Slavia Praha.
That's it. This is RC Lens. Let's go.
Slavia Praga.
This is Slavia Praga, the champions of the Czech Republic, making for the first time in their history a successive UEFA Champions League phase. For Slavia Praga, we know already 7 opponents after Arsenal, Bayern, Aston Villa, Porto, Villarreal, Fenerbahce. Lens has already been paired with them, so only one needs to be revealed with this touch.
And that one team remaining to complete this puzzle is Saba. We've got the lineup.
So Slavia Praga away to Saba of Azerbaijan. Let's go with the next one.
Saba.
And here Saba, we go with Saba, one of this wonderful story club founded only 9 years ago and now making this incredible debut in the league phase of the UEFA Champions League. What we know for Saba is 7 names: Barcelona, Arsenal, Borussia Dortmund, Manchester United, Napoli, Villarreal, and Slavia Praha. Only one.
And there we have it. Picture complete. The one remaining opponent is Viking of Norway.
Yes, for the opposite side of our geography is Viking taking on Saba. And now what expects us in this ball.
Stuttgart.
VfB Stuttgart is the second time in the league phase of the Champions League in the last 3 seasons. And for Stuttgart, we know 6 names, which are Atletico de Madrid, Inter, Bruges, PSV, Lille, and Galatasaray.
Yes, 6 known already, 2 more to come. They are Viking at home and Slovan Bratislava away.
And this is also the strike of Stuttgart. Let's go, please, David.
Como 1907.
Como, another fairy tale, less than a decade ago playing in an amateur division in Italy and now in the UEFA Champions League with the fewest goals conceded in the Serie A last season. So we are ready. Como know already they will play Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Manchester United, Real Betis, Leipzig, Feyenoord and Lens. Only one team from pot 4 to be revealed for Como.
And the final team that they are playing is AEK Athens from pot 4. And David, I have to ask you about Como because Cesc Fabregas is in charge, someone you know so well. You've shared lifelong memories with him for club and country. He's had this incredible impact on this club. Does it surprise you when you know this man so intimately, you know all the unique qualities that he has? Does it surprise you how well he has done with them?
Yes, yes, he's a big friend of mine. I hope he's happy with the with the draw. I think when you are a teammate of a player like Cesc, you know that one day will be a coach. With the way that he plays in the midfielder, the touches, the tactics that he has, you know that he's playing football, thinking about in the next step as a coach. I am very happy for him because he's a big friend of mine, and I hope he has all success.
We hope so too. I mean, it's a great path, isn't it, for Como here. Very exciting times for Cesc and his team. Giorgio.
Yes, let's go. And I hand over immediately to David again. Only 4 teams are left in this pot, and we are very close to knowing everything about this edition of the UEFA Champions League phase. Lask, another of the 4 debutants, winning the double in Austria last season after more than 60 years. Major titles for Lask Linz. So Lask been drawn already against Liverpool, Real Madrid, Porto, Sporting, Fenerbahce and Bodo Glimt.
That final duo for Lask is Slovan Bratislava, and it's an away tie against AEK in Athens.
Yes, and this draw has practically completed the table, but we have to see the remaining names left in the pot, one after the other. There are 3 teams.
Vikings.
Viking, the Norwegian champions, also debutants for the second time in a row. Norway as a debutant in the UEFA Champions League. So Viking, we don't need to push the button because their lineup of opponents is Bayern, Atletico, PSV Eindhoven, Aston Villa, Feyenoord, Napoli, Saba and Stuttgart. So we're ready for the second last.
AEK de Atenas.
AEK Athens, the Greek champions, winning the 14th Greek title last season. So for AEK Athens, we will see this season Real Madrid, Man City, Roma, Borussia Dortmund, Galatasaray, Shakhtar Donetsk, Lask, and Como. And only one is left. David, please, to be formally correct, we need to open all the balls and see the last name.
Slovan Bratislava.
Slovan Bratislava, coached by a legend, Yaya Touré. Slovan Bratislava has qualified through the playoffs to be here in this league phase. And they will face Inter, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Betis, Roma, Shakhtar Donetsk, Lille, Stuttgart, and Lask.
Exciting stuff. We have to let the dust settle now after the draw. It is now complete, and those final fixtures include 2 debutants, Viking taking on Saba, and AEK Athens will play Lask as well. Just a quick highlight from that part.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic tournament. We can absolutely promise you that, as it is every single year. So many standout matches to look forward to. We're all very excited indeed. But a reminder, of course, that the grid shows you all the fixtures, but not necessarily the order, because the full calendar will be released on Saturday. There will be a countdown online, so make sure you check that out. Okay, it's been another successful UEFA Champions League draw. Thank you so much for joining us, Thierry and David. Great skills for both of you. Giorgio, as always, thank you for conducting the proceedings.
Indeed, well done, gentlemen. That'll do it from us here in Monaco. The UEFA Champions League gets underway on Tuesday, the 8th of September, with the final scheduled for the 5th of June in Madrid, of course. We wish all of the 36 teams participating the very best of luck.
Yes, we absolutely cannot wait for it all to get started. So from everyone here at the desk and from Pedro and myself and to all the millions watching all over the world, thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy your season ahead, and good night from now.
Good night.